Yeah, good morning to you, gentlemen of the press. Good morning to my viewers and subscribers. Good morning to the world. Good morning to Nigeria. And good morning to Biafra. Well, my wonderful people, I don't want to waste much of your time. I want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of us for your immensely contribution towards the progress of my channel. May the good Lord bless you all and enrich your pocket times 100 folds. Well, let us proceed with the news of the day, and let us hit the ground running according to my predecessors. EKPA speaks on designation of temporary protected status to Nigerians in the U.S. Makes demands from the government of the United States of America. So, my wonderful people, I just want to use this opportunity and to plead with most of us who have been watching my content. If you never subscribe to my channel, this is the right time for you to do that. Make sure you turn on the notification button so that you'll be notified this time we go live or we post something new on this channel or any other channel related to Okute Daily Talk. So, my good people of Biafra and my good people of Nigeria, my good people of the world, please let us do what? Let us continue with the news of this day. A popular Biafran agitator and separatist, MAZI Simon Ekpa, has reacted to the call by the United States Congress members to designate temporary protected status to the Nigerians over region's insecurity in Nigeria. In a statement on Thursday, the self-styled Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile disclosed that the insecurity faced by the Igbos in Nigeria is enough reason to designate TPS to Nigerians in the United States of America. In a letter dated May 9, 2023, signed by 23 members of the U.S. Congress and addressed to the Secretary of the U.S. Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, requested for the protection of Nigerian nationals currently in the States by designating Nigeria for temporary protected status. In a perspective, TPS, temporary protective status, is an immigration law which allows migrants from the countries which with unsafe conditions to reside and work legally in the states. On this backdrop, EKPA stated that Igbos are unsafe in Nigeria and noted that the U.S. decision to designate Nigerians TPS is a welcome development. He noted that the situation further justifies the demand for a peaceful referendum by the Biafrans. The Finland-based lawyer appealed that the U.S. should consider its request for a peaceful referendum of the Igbo nation from Nigeria. Earlier on, the Biafran Republic government in exile wrote a letter to the U.S., European Union, UK, and the International Criminal Court appealing for a peaceful exit from Nigeria. We wish to inform the United States government through the U.S. Congress that the indigenous people of Biafra, Eastern region of Nigeria, have been living under the existential threat of destruction in Nigeria since 1966, and living conditions have recently worsened. Hence, the Biafra people want the United States government to designate temporary protected status to Nigerians because of the indigenous people of Biafra's resolve to exit Nigeria through a peaceful and bloodless referendum. The Nigerian government is hunting down indigenous people of Biafra all over Nigeria. Any indigenous persons of Biafra coming into Nigeria from abroad will be profiled, picked up from the airport, harassed, intimidated, put into captivity in any dungeon chosen by terrorists in government uniforms. The extrajudicial killings for no reason known to any civil war in Nigeria have become a norm in Nigeria. We appeal to the United States government to hasten the designation of Nigeria has to have a temporary protected status, TPS, to enable dynamic law-abiding people of Biafra remain wherever they are present, because any attempting to return to Nigeria will amount to coming into harm's way or death. Biafrans occupied the territories of the southeastern region of Nigeria, estimated at about over 75 million people, some living in Nigeria and others dispersed worldwide, with many in America contributing to America's prosperity. Biafra existed as an independent nation from 1966 to 1970, when Nigeria and its allies fought and annexed Biafra into Nigeria by fire by force in 1970. The Biafra Republic government in exile of the indigenous people of Biafra is established to undertake the political and administrative governance of the nation of Biafra from outside Biafra territory. The Biafran Republic government in exile undertake diplomatic and foreign relationships, arrangements and agreements, negotiations and pacts with other countries and interest organizations of the world on behalf of the Biafran people. They are to be accorded all diplomatic privileges as due to any government official of their respective level. Through their government in exile, Biafrans are requesting support from the United States of America and its citizens to assist Biafra's peaceful exit from Nigeria. After the Nigerian War in 1970, which was necessitated by social injustice and tribal rivalry, the federal government of Nigeria implemented an unwritten policy to keep Biafran land undeveloped and its people poor. The federal government of Nigeria shut down seaports in Biafra land before 1960. There are no functional seaports, no functional international airports, no electricity, no running water, and no good roads in Biafra land, making it difficult, if not impossible, for the indigenous people of Biafra to stay in their ancestral homeland to do any meaningful or profitable businesses. It has led to the migration of Biafrans from rural to urban areas in Nigeria, including other cities worldwide. We wish to remind you that Frederick Lord Kruger's amalgamation of the southern and the northern protectorate of what it is today, Nigeria, which was established in 1914, was to last for 100 years. 100 years have expired. Now we are into 109 years into that agreement. We wish to remind you also that the amalgamation agreement that merged Nigeria into one country was for the sole interest of the British Crown, without any consideration for the welfare and development of the indigenous people of Biafra. The amalgamation agreement of 1914 stated that after 100 years, any tribe, group or region that did not want to continue in that union would be free to exit the nation called Nigeria. The year 2023 makes that amalgamation agreement 109 years. So by implication, the amalgamation agreement has expired. The amalgamation agreement is binding and Nigeria should and must renegotiate the freedom granted to groups that wish to exit the Nigerian Union, especially the Biafrans. Nigeria comprises several nation states, distant and parallel with dangerous diversities. There is no similarity or commonality between the people of the South and the North Protectorate, and that is the simple truth. Hence, the amalgamation is very selfishly and wickedly conceived and implemented simply because they want to keep some people in a perpetual or abject poverty for the rest of their lives. This explains why it is hurriedly signed into law without consultation with the indigenous people. Since the British imposed amalgamation, there has been a constant rift between the tribes. Each tribe is suspicious of the others. Each fight to dominate the others. Nigeria has not been progressed because the relationships between the tribes have remained cantankerous and pugnacious. Under the hearam, this English, the original one. Biafrans are being killed recklessly in Nigeria today like no other time in Nigeria's history. The Biafran people have a credible fear of death. In 2016, more than 160 Biafran youths were shot dead in cold blood at the Ngwa High School, Aba. The army declared Operation Python Dance 1 and 2 and went to the home of MAZI, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, and killed over 50 Biafran youths there, and MAZI escaped assassination by the Whiskers. The army went to the Uzuwane in Enugu State and massacred over 100 Biafran youths, repeating the same at Eha Amufu, Izombe and Aguleri just before the recently concluded general elections in Nigeria. About 40 people were shot dead in cold blood in Aba, Abia State, when some unarmed youths marched to the street to demand the release of MAZI, who the Nigerian government is holding captive even when the courts discharge him of all charges. The soldiers also wounded hundreds of other innocent citizens. On January 1, 2023, the military led the siege of Ihube, Okigwe in Imo State, and burned the town down. After the presidential election of February 23, the military and political thugs burned down the businesses of Biafran people for no justifiable reasons in Lagos, Maiduguri, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, etc., etc. The designation of Nigeria as having temporary protected status is a welcome development, and we equally request the U.S. government to use its influence and leverage to push for a renegotiation of Nigeria and a peaceful referendum for the indigenous people of Biafra to exit Nigeria, putting an end to decades of old hostilities before it degenerates into another full-scale civil war, which could have been averted. Thank you all. The statement raised. This message is coming to you, written by MAZI Simon EKPA, or MAZI Simon Ekperima, and it was read to you by MAZI Okute Daily Talk. You get the point now. So all of us now MAZI. While I know they finish it, we have another breaking news here. This headline, it go sweet you pass, or maybe it go make you pen, make you hear this breaking news. Second Niger bridge, you are a hero to Igbo. Uzodin Matters Buhari, simple common bridge. How much did he spend to build this second Niger bridge? Buhari spent how much? $1.9 billion to build railway from the north there to Maradi, Niger. Nobody ever praised him that he's a hero to the north, or he's a hero to the what do they call it? To the Niger Republic. He bought 10 SUVs. Nobody see himself. They don't even know he exists. Nobody praise him. Common second Niger bridge is what even all the southeastern governors have resorted to that. That bridge now will be named Muhammadu Buhari Second Niger Bridge. The same way that Dave Umahi did in Ebonyi State, Buhari International Airport on Weke. Well, I know they finish. Make gonna wake up from this on a sleeping slumber. Enough is enough. Governor Hope Uzodinjo of Imo State has held President Muhammadu Buhari for the construction of the second Niger Bridge and other infrastructural projects in the southeastern region of the country. Speaking at the commissioner of the bridge in Onosha, Anambra State, on Tuesday, Uzodinma described President Buhari as a hero to him and the people of the southeast for delivering the project. Just say he's a hero to you. None of your family members died in the course of these 8 years. And that is why you have every right to praise him. A lot of people, a lot of kids have been made fatherless and motherless, orphans. Some families have been rendered useless because of the incessant killings in the southeast, orchestrated by the federal government of Nigeria or Fulani government of Nigeria, then carried out by Hope Uzodinjo and his cohorts. The governor also stated that the new bridge is a link to the old eastern and the old western regions of Nigeria. He said, "We have cried to many governors for years, yet the projects were not done. The state of the first Niger bridge makes it difficult for our people returning for Christmas and other festivities to sometimes spend 5 days or more on that said road. We thank President Muhammadu Buhari for delivering the project, even though he begged for our votes, but we didn't give him our votes. He is a hero to me and the people of Southeast." In his remarks, Anambra State Governor Prof. Charles Soludo wished the president well as he prepared to leave office. Come May 29, 2023, he commended him for completing the projects all in the southeast. Soludo also said that the second Niger bridge would boost economic activities and ease of doing businesses in Imo, Anambra, and other states, while impacting positively the lives of the poor and the rich in the society. So the last year but not least, do the needful or confess you rigged the election. Kenneth Okonkwo, Daz Mohammed, Abi Yakubu Mohammed or for the INEC. He don't dare you said, come and confess. Tell the world the truth. How you rigged the election. He dares you. The Labour Party chieftain Kenneth Okonkwo has challenged the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to grant this party access to all election materials or confess in court that the 2023 election was rigged to favor their preferred candidate. Nigeria report that Okonkwo made this known While giving reasons, the Presidential Election Tribunal on Tuesday gave the Labour Party candidate Peter Obi 3 weeks to present his petition. According to him, the Labour Party lead counsel, Levi Uzuuku, during an interview in court, lamented how INEC has refused and neglected to provide the party with all the evidence needed to prosecute their court petition, despite the court today. Kennedy said the Labour Party will not fold its hands and allow the impunity to continue. Hence, INEC must follow the court orders on the provisions of electoral materials or confess the election was rigged. He added that the party had earlier requested 7 weeks to give INEC enough time to produce all evidence. He wrote, His Excellency, as Peter Obi Gregory was in court, our lead counsel, Dr. Levi Uzuuku San, screamed during the press interview that INEC is frustrating us. Till date, INEC have failed, refused and neglected to provide us with all the evidence we need to prosecute our petition, despite the order of court. In that regard, Levi threatened legal shutdown with INEC if this continues. It is disturbing that INEC should come to court to tell us to go and start searching for our evidence in the states. Does it mean that INEC does not know the law that guides the presidential election, or just sheer dishonesty and incompetence? In the issue of a presidential election, the entire country is one constituency, and the law is very clear in Section 62 of the Electoral Act that INEC should assemble all the polling units and collation centers' evidence in one national electoral register of election results and give the CTC to any person or party on request. This INEC has shamelessly not done, despite our agreeing to pay every legitimate fee for them. Nigerians should want INEC to do the needful and follow the law, or simply come to the court and confess that they rigged the election in favor of their preferred candidates. We cannot fold our hands and allow this impunity to continue, according to Dr. Levi. The only reason we asked for 7 weeks was to give INEC enough time to produce all the evidence. Now that we have 3 weeks, which ordinarily should be good for us, they must produce them now. Add your voice to this. Eternal vigilance is the price to pay for the survival of democracy. You hear it? And that's what the thing be. Why I decided to build second Niger bridge? Buhari laments. President Muhammadu Buhari has said his administration decided to build the second Niger bridge to open Southeast region to business opportunities. Niger News reports that Buhari stated this on Tuesday during an official commissioning and handover of the legacy project renamed after him. The president described the project as a choice bridge and a reality, adding that it was among numerous infrastructural projects his administration completed nationwide. Buhari remarked that the bridge would equally serve as a means of connectivity, interaction, and integration between communities, regions, and the states. He said it will reduce travel time, improve business efficiency, timelines, and service delivery. I declare them open for public use. They were funded from recovered assets and others. Our anti-corruption drive is yielding positive results, according to Muhammadu Buhari. Also speaking, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, said the southern part of Nigeria would remember the Buhari-led administration, as the project will reduce the cost of governance and transportation as well. Recall that in December 2022, the government temporarily opened the bridge to ease festive season traffic in the southeast region. The bridge was in operation for 1 month, closing on January 15, 2023, to allow for the completion of the local Oweto bridge and the connecting road between Benue and the Nasarawa states. As of May 15, the bridge was fully accessible to motorists. Some finishing touches, such as lane markings, were still in progress at the time of filling this report. So, my wonderful people, be like saying here we go take Pakaya, I will make we add one more news. Let us see whether we can be able to add just a little token, a little news to this very this thing before we go. The slapingitis man wey be Afrobeat artist Seun Kuti, Seun Kuti, they don't release him from prison after weeks of shenanigans. Afrobeat musician Seun Kuti has been released from prison, Pantiyaba. Previously, Kuti was held at the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department (SCID) Panti Yaba, Lagos, following a court order from a Yaba Chief Magistrate Court accusing him of assaulting a police officer, an incident captured in a widely circulated video. Adeyinka Olumide Fusika, Kuti's counsel, on Tuesday provided reasons for the delayed bail of the singer. He explained that it was not due to a court hearing failure, but rather an administrative approval that was holding up the process. Nigeria News had reported earlier that the presiding magistrate Adeola Olatumbosun was unable to attend court, having gone for some trainings. Kuti's lawyer expressed hope that his client might still regain his freedom once the bail warrant is signed by the magistrate or any authorized person by the court. However, Fusika indicated that the advice of the Director of Public Prosecution (DPP) was not ready as the police investigations team, who was still in possession of the case file. Meanwhile, human rights activist Omoyele Sowore announced on Tuesday via Twitter that music star has been released from detention. His tweet reads, "Just to announce that at Real Seun Kuti has been released from at Police Nigeria detention in Lagos. Hasta la Victoria Sampere." Okay, only you know what that one means. So my wonderful people, good morning to you all once again. If you are watching and you never subscribe, this is the right time for you to do that. Subscribe to my channel, like my content, comment, and also make sure you are sharing. Make sure this message get to every nook and cranny of this nation or of the old Eastern region, because without the sharing it, there's no anyhow some people will get a glimpse of what is happening. So have a nice day, my people, and have a nice Wednesday. May the good Lord bless us all, the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. I am signing out, my dear gentle brothers and sisters. I'm coming back with another blockbuster. Have a nice day. Bye for now. Kemesiano.